When the lights go out, the Se7ens class goes when the Union flag is dropped, not when it's raised.
Race went okay. Qualifying was a bit dubious.
Right.
Spun her 3 times. So
any particular reason, or was it just trying to push?
I just don't know the track. Just rubbish. Really.
That's part of the learning curve. That's part of the excitement. And now you know for the next race, right?
Yeah.
What's the plan? What's your expectation in the next race?
I just want to finish.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting much, but yeah.
Car in good shape?
It's not too bad. It gets a bit rattly, but I think they all do, don't they?
I think so. Just make sure all the nuts and bolts are tightened up properly.
Yeah, I'll check. Double checks.
Good man. Dan, best of luck for the race. Enjoy it, won't you? We'll be watching. Thank you very much. Right, it's now time for the Mini 7 Championship race. I'm going to hand over to your commentator, Kieran.
And so they're going through the warm-up lap at the moment ahead of the first mini appearance of the day, the Mini 7 Championship, due to start here very shortly. Alongside me for this one, Stephen Colbrand. How are you, Stephen?
I'm pretty good this morning, Kieran.
What are you making of the conditions on the track today?
Really nice day. I mean, if you're going to be out racing any day of the year, this looks absolutely perfect. There's a strong headwind going down the Bentley straight. Coming up Main Straight here, it's going to be a tailwind, so it's going to really play into the hands of these Mini 7s. Not particularly powerful, only about 100 horsepower, remember, and they are shaped like a brick. So there's going to be a huge amount of overtaking on the straights, I would say.
What they lack in aerodynamic design, they do make up for in sheer beauty. These are great cars to watch.
Iconic. Obviously, championship been going since 1966, and these guys at the front there, that's the Mini 7 formula. So there's 2 distinct groups here with the red stickers on their windscreens. That's the Mini 7s, the 998cc, full race tuned, and then you've got a separate pack just behind there, which is the S class, and they're a limited tuning formula, so not quite as high RPM, a little bit cheaper to run. That's the idea of those folks. If you're going to build a car yourself at home, that's the place to start.
Just 2/10 of a second separate Jeff Smith and Spencer Wanstall on pole today. You expecting a really close one?
Yesterday's race, yeah, it was mega close between those two. I think they were swapping positions for the whole race. Really exciting. Like I say earlier, it's the slipstreaming here is going to really make all the difference. But they're both very clean drivers, I'd say. Both pretty experienced now. Jeff obviously coming from touring cars and last year's champion. Spencer is always up there at the front. They're probably going to be the 2 to watch, I'd say.
Well, they're making their way back towards the centre straight. So we can get the race underway. Making up the grid. In pole position, Jeff Smith. Holding second is Spencer Wanstall. In third place, Andrew Devaney. Lee Roberts in fourth. 5, Joe Polly. Graham Davis in 6. Leon Ollie Window in 7. Jordan Sims in 8th. 9th, Julian Proctor. And then we have the 10-second start delay. The other class that Stephen was explaining ahead of the race, and that is fronted by Conor O'Brien, followed by Thorborn Aston. Then it's Johnny Kent, Benjamin Butler, Greg Dorr, Damien Harrington, Matthew Ayres, Mark Chappell, Darren Jeremiah, Julian Beavis, and completing the lineup in 23rd spot, it's the 795 of Stuart Gilby.
We'll find out. 20-minute race is about to get going. 5-second ball is held aloft.
We've got 5 seconds to go here.
Second batch of car on the drop of the flag. Red lights on. Red lights go out now. Practice off.
And they are off. And what a start from the number 73 of Spencer Wanstall.
Jeff Smith's going backwards there. Seemed to bog down off the line. So we've got Andrew Devaney moving up. He's always one to watch as well.
And now the rest of the field join the second start underway. And in the second class it is still Conor O'Brien making a comfortable start, and they're going through Wilson now.
Spence just got the edge there, but it could be anyone's at this stage of the race. We're going to get 7 or 8 laps in today, I would say. There's Torburn, going down the inside, well, it's on the outside there I should say. Conor O'Brien leads the way in the S-Class. An equally close battle at the back.
And in the first race, still out ahead, it is the 73 of Spencer Wanstall.
If you look though, you see where Jeff Smith's already coming back. He's already in third place after a bit of a sluggish start off the line. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference here.
I mean, what can you account for? What kind of factors weigh into that slow start?
We've got somebody swerving to the left there. Just bogged down, I guess. A bit too much wheel spin off the line. They do run quite lightweight flywheels in these Mini 7s, so if you don't get it quite right on the first attempt, you dip the clutch, have another go.
As you mentioned, Jeff Smith, plenty of experience, more than capable of coming right back into this one.
Oh, for sure. So, see, 2019 champion. If someone goes a little bit wide there, no damage done. It's a relatively wide circuit here at Snetterton for these Mini 7s. You can see the size of them coming down the straight. Probably get 6 abreast if you needed to.
And this track just under 3 miles in length.
Snetterton out a little bit of a lead there. If they can break that toe, he'll be away. That's the key to it.
He's heading for Coram towards Morris. He's making moves right back into this one now.
Now watch this, Kieran. He'll go down the straight, slipstream, and I reckon past into the first corner, into Riches.
We heard it here first, and now carrying through, heading for the right-hander at Riches. It's still the 73 out ahead.
And a real close battle for the lead of the S-Class there. We've got Conor O'Brien followed closely by Torbjørn Astin. They had a real good race yesterday. I think Conor was losing a bit of power down the Bentley straight, and they swapped positions. It must have been 6 or 7 times as a result.
Now into Palmer, the first race.
And then nose to tail there. You've got Jeff just behind. There's no real issues of cooling today, so I know the last round at Brands Hatch was especially hot, and you're seeing them kind of ducking out into the breeze there to get a bit of cooling into the radiators, but we're probably not going to see any of that today.
Through Agostini, heading for Hamilton.
So we've got the S-Class battle there. Connor seems to pull out a bit of a gap. We've got Johnny Kent in third. There's Andrew Devaney trying to go around the outside there.
There's Jeff Smith just hugging the apex a little bit onto the grass.
And you see how sideways they are coming into that corner. It's so much fun to come into there in a Mini 7. Opposite lock, foot on the floor, trying to keep it straight.
And it's still out ahead. The number 73, Spencer Wanstall.
Spencer's in the leader championship at the moment, but obviously with drop scores coming into it later in the year, it's all to play for. He could do with a good result here, so he's really looking for that win.
Fantastic start to this revised season for Spencer. Coming into this weekend, we're sitting on a total of 94 points in the championship, but only 3 ahead of Andrew Devaney.
We've got Mark Chappell and Darren Jeremiah there. Darren only in his second race weekend I should say, so he's learning the ropes, having a great time.
A little under 0.2 of a second separating the leaders.
But look how close they are. I mean, that's the whole field on the straight there. That's the Mini 7s, and then if you look back, there's a slight gap. They obviously had a 10 seconds delay to the start for the S-Class, and they're coming through as well. We may see them mixing in towards the end of the race. So Conor and Torbjørn Astin, we're going to start catching up with the slightly slower Mini 7s, I would say, towards the end of the race. Got Joe Polly there, followed by Graham Davis, long-time Mini 7 racer. Oh, cutting the corner slightly. Doesn't make a huge amount of difference.
I mean, with the car with the base the size of the Mini 7, have you got to take those corners carefully?
Well, they're very agile, but they are running the cross-ply tyre, which is well, surprisingly grippy actually, but they're very forgiving as well. So if you do get completely sideways in the corner, you can just plant the throttle, aim for the apex and hope for the best. So you can see Connor's pulling out a bit of a gap there into, where are we there, Agostini. Ben Butler looking like he's making progress. We've got Jordan Sims, so it's Mark Sims' son. Oh, spoke too soon. It's our cage fighting champion, Ben Butler, all over the place. It's Joe Polly there down the inside of Lee Roberts.
And this race really is hotting up in both classes. Back in.
And Spencer at the moment is driving away as oh, we've got a lost wheel there, Greg Dawes' car, so he needs to get out of the way as soon as possible. We may see a safety car here with that loose wheel on the inside.
Well, for now the racing is continuing.
I missed that one, Kieran. Did you see what happened?
I think it was the same car that spun a little bit earlier. I didn't see the wheel come off though.
So we've got the two leaders now coming.
Tail of Jeff Smith going very
he's
wide.
Got his
there.
wheel. He wants to take that home with him. And who can blame him? Just over £100 for the tyre.
And as they come back through, it is still Spencer Wanstall holding off Jeff Smith. And they go through Riches, heading for Wilson, starting to get a good gap between the front two and the rest of the pack.
Jeff really knows how to pile on the pressure, but Spencer, over the past few seasons, is used to this by now. We've got Andrew Devaney there into third and Joe Polly in fourth.
And they're going through Palmer. We'll head towards Agostini.
We got the trucks racing this weekend as well. I was pedalling around on my bike last night. I noticed how much rubber there was laid down, so it's only going to help these Mini 7s. Bit of a break now. So Jeff goes down the inside.
And Conor O'Brien still out ahead in the S-Class.
So obviously his power troubles of yesterday seem to be behind him, and he's really making progress. He's going to start catching up with some of the Mini 7s now and trying to get a gap between himself and Torbjörn Astin. Torbjörn seems to be either winning this year or retiring, so he could do a good podium here.
And we continue to watch Conor O'Brien as he starts to find an electric pace here.
Now there's the gap. You can see they're closing up. 10 seconds, nothing really, and these Mini 7s start slipstreaming down that back straight.
And Jeff Smith still probing, trying to find a way past Spencer. Don't find it there though.
Jeff carries so much speed into that section. He was barely braking in qualifying. Put him about 2 seconds ahead of the field in qualifying, so he knows how to pedal a Mini around here.
As they go through Coram, heading for Murray's. Once they're through that left-handed turn, it's back onto the centre straight.
Just trying to keep that momentum going. Not a huge amount of power, so they just need to keep it moving, almost like go-karting, where momentum is everything.
And the yellow flag is out, no overtaking for the time being. Safety car is out, maybe that is for that.
That's a good premonition I had there, wasn't it? I thought that might be coming. I don't know, maybe they didn't see that there was a car stricken there.
So we're going to go have a little look at the replay of that incident.
Greg Dorr there. Oh!
And it just pops off straight off the side.
So wheel nuts come undone by the look of it. It wasn't a bottom arm. You typically see if it was the hub broken or something like that, the wheel would stay in place and just slide along.
You can tell just how light those wheels are. It's crashed off the barriers on one side and come back all the way across the track.
Luckily nobody hit that. Yeah, they are light, but you don't really want to be hitting that with a carbon fiberglass front end as he runs across the track to go and get it. I don't know if that's an advised thing to do, but there you go, he's done it. He's got his wheel and he's going home.
We're back now. The yellow flag's still waving following that incident.
As you see now, Julian Proctor there at the back of the Mini 7 pack, but they've all bunched up, so this is great for the racing.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's not a scenario you enjoy if you were in the lead, but for everyone else, you're straight back on the tail of action.
Well, there's two things here. So if you are in the lead, obviously everyone's now going to be battling behind you, whereas Spencer was being caught gradually by Jeff and putting the pressure on, he's now got Andrew Devaney right behind him, former champion, former winner here. I think he's a two-time winner a couple of years ago, so there's going to be pressure in both directions, and obviously with the straight down the back there, the Bentley straight, the slipstreaming, the fact that you can get 6 abreast if you needed to. I don't think anyone's too worried about the position right now. We've got 9 minutes left to go, which at a 2 minute, what's the lap time at the moment they're doing in qualifying? They're doing 2 minutes 30s almost.
Yeah, just under that. Spencer Wansell 2:27.028.
So you don't get many laps around here in the 20-minute race.
Just a handful.
I know a lot of these guys were here just a couple of weeks ago doing the 2CV and mini race, so it's a 24-hour race. So I think Ben Butler was one of those. So he knows the circuit quite well. 24 hours of racing a 9 and 8 mini around here, you're going to get to know the straights.
Well, the recovery vehicle out onto the track. We'll be looking for the car of Greg Dorr.
Joe Polly's got to be pleased there, up in 4th place. She's often almost on the podium. She's a former S-Class driver, and Mighty Minis before that. So it'd be good to see her kind of pushing for a podium position.
Is there a considerable leap between the two classes?
Not really. I mean, if you look at the lap times, not really much in it. You've got the 12.75 S-Class cars, not as high revving. You hear them when they come past down the straight. It's more of a buzz, like a bumblebee. Whereas the Mini 7's like a group of angry wasps coming down the straight. They'll rev to 8,500 RPM. Whereas, I mean, if you did that in an S-Class, you'd probably get 2 laps out of it. So they tend to run out at about 6.5, 7. A lot cheaper though, it's got to be said, than the S-Class. But then you have the prestige of the Mini 7. The Mini 7 is the original formula. It's one of the longest single-make championships in Europe, if not the world. Largely unchanged since 1966. So if you want to win anything, really, in this particular race, it's got to be said the Mini 7 title is the one to go for. Quite often get a lot of the Mini 7 drivers then moving on to the Mini Miglia formula, which we'll see later on today. But it's always a bucket list job. Win the Mini 7 championship first.
The Mini Miglia Championship, our final race of the morning session here before lunch. That one coming up at 12:55. Still, the safety car out on the track at the moment, following the lost tyre of Greg Dorr. Sure, there'll be a bit of an inquest as to what might have caused that one.
I would say pretty simple. Wheel nuts came off, by the look of it. I think Joe Polly had something similar at Brands Hatch. So whoever's been tightening up the wheel nuts in that department, have some serious words later on, I think. Disappointing way to go out. But it doesn't look like too much damage done to the car there. We'll be back out for the next round, I'm sure.
So we're watching that again. And yeah, that wheel just comes clean off very quickly, and much to the detriment of Greg Dorr. Just straight out of the race. Nothing you can do in those situations.
Absolutely nothing. You've got your crash helmet on. you're kind of in race mode, you're not going to probably feel or hear that something's going wrong. So there's no real blame for Greg there. He's a bit of a passenger.
How frustrating is that when it's your one race of the weekend?
Well, pretty annoying, I'd say. I mean, most of these guys aren't professional racers, and this is their main hobby. So this is their family holiday now being spent going racing for the weekend. So if your wheel nut comes off, be a bit annoyed, wouldn't you?
Well, it may be annoying for the driver, but for us here in the commentary booth, it just adds to the excitement of these races. The yellow flag's still out in force.
Now this is the downside, I'd say, of the 300 circuit with the minis, because it takes them so long to get around, especially at this kind of pace. We may end up with 2 laps sprint to the finish. So, I mean, these guys just want to be racing. Hopefully we've got the safety car coming in on this lap, and then we're going to have an exciting dash. So we're going to keep up with the commentary on this one.
We'll have to wait and see.
Well, you're the professional, so I'll let you speak at 1,000 miles an hour.
We've got a little under 5 minutes left for this one. That safety car's probably been on the track now for a good 5 minutes in itself.
Sideways, and you couldn't quite get it stopped in time. Again, that's a very similar position to where this safety car period is, but it's maybe another 50 yards further
in the 7 class, Spencer Wanstall was leading the way. Jeff Smith in second spot. Andrew Deviney in third. Joe Polly holding fourth.
As we can just see Greg Dawes' car being hoisted out of the way. So, fingers crossed, this is it. Safety car be in. So that 10-second gap now between, so you had Julian Proctor there in the orange car and Conor O'Brien in the blue and pink car. 10-second gap at the start is gone, so they're effectively racing together again now.
And that is Greg Dawes' car.
You get a couple more minis on there, can you? 3?
Absolutely
3 on there?
dwarfed by the flatbed.
It's like something from the Italian Job hanging out the back. Nice. Do one of those myself. How handy is that?
Well, we're still awaiting the field to return to us and our commentary position here. We're pretty much level with the start line on Centre Straight.
You get a real sense of speed sitting down here. I've been in some commentary boxes where you're right up high, Brands Hatch in particular, and you don't quite get the sense of speed as the cars come past at 70, 80 miles an hour at this point.
The Legends certainly caught me off guard this morning in their qualifying. Greg Dawes' car off the track now. Hopefully we will have racing resuming very soon. There is a green flag in the hand of the marshals.
Now this is going to play into Conor O'Brien's hands in the S-Class, as Greg to this point is leading the championship with the way that the drop scores work, so he'll be disappointed with that one. We've got a reduced number of rounds this year. We've only got 11 rounds because of the COVID situation, late start to the season. As away they go, green flag.
And as they come flying through, Spencer Wanstall.
So they've
still in
timed
charge.
They've timed that, so we're going to get, potentially, the guys at the front might get one more lap. So this is either the last lap for some of them or the penultimate lap, depending on how quickly they get round. I think it was 2 minutes 40 on the clock there as they went through. Spencer pulled out an excellent start off the restart there.
Yeah, absolutely flying as he headed into Wilson. It was much more congested between Jeff Smith and Andrew Deviney.
So Graham Davis down the inside, and looked like Conor has made a cracking start as well.
And they're all flying through Palmer, heading for Agostini now.
So who's it going to be? As Joe comes back down the inside, caught Graham napping, or is he going to get her back? We'll see. He's got the inside line. and there's a huge amount of rubber down there from the trucks, so there's a lot of grip.
And again, Jeff Smith just goes slightly wide through Hamilton.
Oh, he's playing this tactically. He's been following Spencer now for the whole race. I don't know if you can see the timings on his. He uses some kind of V-box in his car. If he's going to know that he's got 1 lap or 2 laps left to go, but he's going to be going for it now down the Bentley straight. Now, is he going to brake? Last minute lunge. As he moves to the inside. And he's through.
He is making the move on to Brundle and through Nelson. And Jeff Smith, he had 0.8 of a second to make up. He's done that and then some now.
He's timed that to perfection. If it was the last lap, we've got a minute to go. I think they're going to get another one in here, Kieran. So maybe he's gone too early.
We were saying before the race, the last place you want to be heading into those straights with the headwind that you mentioned is being in first place and someone slipstreaming you.
As nice as it is to be out the front, I think I'd definitely choose to be second or third at this point. So there we go, we've got
the flag.
And they've called it early. So mega last minute move from Jeff Smith there. We've got Conor O'Brien takes the S-Class. So not quite the last minute the duel. I was thinking it might be another lap there, but I guess they called it with another 2.5 minutes to go. So reigning champion Jeff Smith comes for full points. I mean, Spencer won't be disappointed with that.
Well, he's still enjoying a very good season. Another podium position there. It's, you know, you can't really complain about that, but the manner in how it changed right at the end, that's got to be the slight annoyance following the safety car being on track for so long.
It's what happens. It's all part of it. It's tactics. Definitely tactics with Mini 7 racing.
Kind of thing that happens one week to your detriment, the next week to your benefit.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we had some races at Zandvoort last year where Spencer just drove away. Once you break that toe, so coming in slightly early there to the pits. So I think most people are having to social distance and keep their masks on, so it's a slightly different routine here. But thanks, Kieran.
No, thank you very much for joining us for that one, Stephen. We do have another mini race coming up. That is the Mini Miglia. That's at 12:35, the last race of the morning session before lunch. So successful race in the Mini 7s for Jeff Smith. And he was right up there before this weekend as well. He was third place in the Mini 7 Challenge Championship. Was just 5 points off Spencer Wanstall, who was top of that table.
So he's going to go away from this weekend pretty happy, I think.
And now we're going to go down to Ian Waterhouse, who's down in the pits.
Right, everybody, welcome back down to the scrutineering bay. Wow, that was exciting, wasn't it? You can see the winners over here. Now, I've got Jeff Smith actually down as the winner of the race, but what a battle it was, wasn't it? Wow, that was fantastic. Let's. I'm not so sure if we're allowed in here, but I think we're going to go do it anyway. There's Conor O'Brien. He's the winner of the Class 7S. Let's grab a word with Conor. Conor, hello. Congratulations, buddy. I'll let you get out of the car. Hey, class winner. How does that feel?
Yeah, not bad. It was quite hard work when the safety car came back out, so I wanted to try and get a few of these 7s out of the way, and I thought we'd had a lot longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that last lap dash was a bit hectic, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
I think it caught quite a few people out, didn't it? Certainly,
yeah,
I know from our end, we're a bit like, oh, checkered flag suddenly come out. What can you do a bit later on? Is that sort of any more tactics for you? Was there anything else you could have done?
I should have got past one of the 7s quicker, and that was it really. But other than that, I think I drove a pretty solid race.
Yeah.
Yeah, the car was unreal. Happy with it.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Conor. Well done. I'm going to grab a quick word with the guys over here. Let's see if I can grab Jeff very quickly. I'll let you do your handshakes and stuff. Congratulations. That's almost
you.
caught a few people out at the end, didn't it, really?
Yeah, it did. That mixed it up a little bit, didn't it? But yeah, I thought we were actually going to finish under the safety car at one point. We managed to get one lap in. That's all it took, so that was good.
And that was all it took, and it was a fast finish. But hey, it was a wonderful drive between yourself and Spencer over there. How did you manage to just hold him off at the end there?
I did him going down the straight, so I knew based on the previous 2 laps when he got by me that if I was going to be first on the final lap, unless I had a 50-metre gap, I wasn't going to win it, because down the back straight today there's a massive toe.
Is there? I've heard this from the legends. They actually say it's better to not be first as you start the last lap, and the same here, I take it.
Yeah, certainly. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It depends on where you can defend. So if the twisty stuff's at the end of a circuit, you want to be in the lead. But here you're sort of second or third. Yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank
Jeff.
you.
Well done.
Cheers.
Fantastic stuff. Right, now I'm going to, next up we have the Thunder and Boss Saloons, the classic touring cars. Oh wow, that is going to be so exciting. Now we do have a little video to play, because I did just head into the paddock to catch up with Andrew Wilson and Andy Robinson. So we're going to go to a short break. We'll play that video for you before the Thunder and Boss Saloons thunder around Snetterton.